Hey guys, it's me again. I think today I'm gonna talk about some of the concepts and ideas that I picked from different books and documentaries and my own observations about how can I really keep my mental health in check, and how can I make sure that I'm mentally healthy. Am working towards being at peace with whatever my life situation is. So there are a couple of ideas which I'm gonna cover in this video. I think before I go into that, I want to talk about two important books, which I think you might also kind of like to kind of read. Number one is The Tools by Phil Stutz. Stutz is a documentary on Netflix. You can check it out. I think Jonah has created this documentary, and he has interviewed Phil Stutz, who is a therapist, and it's a very touching documentary. Have a look. I think if you really want to be in control of your mental health, you will definitely benefit a lot from that. The second book that I want to talk about is Solve for Happy, which is from I forgot his name. So Solve for Happy, I think the gentleman is from Egypt, and he's been with Google for a long time, and then he has taken an approach of an engineer when somebody's trying to kind of cultivate happiness in his life, that how you will try to solve this equation of life that can generate happiness for you. So let's talk about the ideas now. Number one is something which I have found very effective. That think you think about the relationships that you have with your surrounding in three levels. The first level is your relationship with your body, which includes physical and mental part of your human body, and work towards it, making sure that you eat healthy food, you exercise, and you make sure that everything which affects your mental health is also taken care of. So body, your relationship with your body is at the base, and it's very important. Unless your relationship with your body is is in good shape, you will find it hard to kind of cultivate peace and happiness around you. The second one is your relationship with people. The way we interact with our family members, our friends, our network of people with whom we interact at work or any other place, I think it impacts a lot our mental health, and it also impacts our choices. It impacts our psyche at a much deeper level. So the relationship with with people is very important. Make sure that you have a graceful existence, and in order to do that, you have to work on your relationship with people, and it goes a lot more deeper into that. We'll talk about it. The third one is your relationship with yourself. So what do I really mean here is that how, do you have some bad mental habits, or do you criticize yourself, or what's the voice with which you speak to yourself on a day-to-day basis? Do you always think that you want more and you're not able to achieve, or you have a mindset where you say that you have achieved a few things, you are working towards having more control on your life, on happiness? How much importance do you really give it to yourself? And when you face a difficult situation, how kind you are with yourself and things like that. So body, people, and your relationship with yourself is like, there are three orders, three kind of levels in which you have to establish this relationship in order to kind of get better with respect to mental health. The second concept that I always try to keep in my mind is that There are three things which are always constant in life. Number one is pain. It's very hard not to be in pain. There could be physical pain, there could be emotional pain, and emotional pain comes in different flavors. So it's very important to kind of be aware that you can't get rid of pain and you have to accept it. Sometimes the same event which would not impact you a lot at on other occasion, the same event can really impact you very badly. So the pain has different forms, different intensity. It depends on context, and you as a human, we have to understand that we can't avoid pain. We have to accept it as a part of life, and we have to see how can we manage it. The second concept is uncertainty. Uncertainty is a very at a very high level, but if you look at a lot of emotions around anxiety, nervousness, fear of unknown, there are a lot of stressful feelings that come into our mind. A lot of that come from the fear of uncertainty, whether it's our first day at work, whether we are meeting a new person, whether we are expecting a guest with whom we don't kind of go along with, whether we are giving a presentation. There is a lot of fear around unknown and uncertainty. And I think it's very important to understand that there is always an element of uncertainty with respect to everything which is happening around us. So we have to accept that as well, that there will be uncertainty in whatever we do, in whatever choices in life we make. The third concept is continuous improvement or continuous work. It's very important for us to be able to kind of keep working on whatever our life situation is, which is some part of it is related to pain, some part of it is related to uncertainty, some part of it is related to how can we really be healthy, how can we eat better, how can we can exercise better, how can we really work on our relationships, how can we communicate better, how can we make sure that we don't offend people, although we also try to make sure that we protect our interest, and there are many other things. So continuous work is very important when it really comes to living life in a balanced way. So three concepts, which is about accepting it and absorbing it, and making sure that we are accepting the existence of it, and we are learning how to manage it. So pain, uncertainty, and continuous work. The next thing which I really want to talk about is a sort of a kind of a triangle, where there is a not a triangle, it's like a node, there are three nodes here. And at the center we have thought, and at the top we have action, and at the bottom node we have emotion. And there are emotions which create thought, and there are thoughts that create emotions, and there are thoughts that create action. And sometimes the actions that we take, it again generates some emotions inside us, and that again creates some thought. So this is the kind of an interconnectivity between thought, action, and emotion, which keeps happening in our life, in our mind. And the awareness that there is a space between action and our thought, and we have a control to kind of register our action, or to change our action, or to make sure that we take an action which is appropriate, and we don't listen to only our thought. And that there's a choice to choose the right action. So once we be aware of it, that there is a choice between action and thought, and we don't have to respond to every stimulus. We can choose what to do and what not to do. I think this awareness is very powerful. And when we know that it is possible, we can choose to respond to a situation, or we can choose to not to respond to a situation. We can choose to respond to a situation in a certain way. I think that is very powerful. And I think another thing which is pretty related to this is that this particular concept that if you look at our brain is just a human organ, just like hand, our feet, our fingers. We can control our fingers, our hand, whatever body movement that we really want to make. And if you think about it, that brain is also an organ, and the thought which is happening here in our head, although the consciousness, the conscious being that we have a choice to move our body in a certain way. Can we also have a choice of asking our brain, or to have a different thought, or maybe asking our brain that, or having a communication with the brain that, hey, look, brain, it's good that you have given me this idea, this thought, which is anger, which is jealousy, which is maybe kind of feeling remorseful, which is about feeling frustrated or whatever. But this is just a thought, this is just in my mind. And this fear and all of those things are generated in my mind. And if you look at it as just an organ, and think that you're not the thought, you're not the mind, you're also not the body. I think this particular awareness and this concept is very powerful, and you will start detaching yourself from the thoughts and from the emotions which this thought is generating. And the kind of like when you feel lost in the thought or in the mind, and you think that this is all which is happening with my body, with my mind, and my consciousness is completely wrapped inside this mind and the thoughts which is happening, then it is very difficult to go out of this particular kind of shell. And that's where this awareness becomes very important, that my mind or my brain, although it is kind of making me feel very sad, but this is just an emotion, this is just a brain which is acting in the way it is acting. But I can choose to act on it, or I can choose to not to act on it. And I can choose to get out of the bed right at 5 a.m. in the morning, although I'm feeling sad, and go for a run, go and swim, come back, listen to music, do some exercise, go to office, and do the things that I really have to do, eat good food, things like that. So considering that brain is also an organ is something which is, I think, is very important. And I think this is also very powerful. So yeah, that's pretty much from me for today.